When we are performing a hand-tied knot during surgery, we may want to create a knot that is more secure than a simple reef knot and won't loosen in between throws. We can achieve this by performing a surgeon's knot. This is essentially very similar to a reef knot, except that it involves performing an initial double throw rather than a single throw. If you haven't learnt the hand-tied reef knot already, then I suggest you do this before continuing with this tutorial. The initial double throw of the surgeon's knot creates more friction between the suture threads. This is important because it prevents the initial throw from slipping and loosening whilst we perform the subsequent throws. We most commonly use the hand-tied surgeon's knot when we tie blood vessels. Obviously, any slippage or loosening of the knot could result in significant blood loss, and therefore must be avoided at all costs. We will start by demonstrating the knot being performed with the left hand. We start with the short end of the suture lying away from us. We pick it up and hold it between the thumb and the middle finger of our left hand. Then, using the left index finger, we extend the suture out. We bring the suture end in our right hand up and loop it over the extended left index finger. The left index finger then hooks around the short end of the suture and pulls it through the loop that's been created. The left index finger is then placed through the loop again, hooking the short suture and pulling it through the loop again for a second time, thus creating the double throw of the surgeon's knot. The left hand then pulls the short end of the suture towards us, whilst the long end is taken away from us at 180 degrees. The rest of the surgeon's knot is performed as we would for a simple hand reef knot. The next throw involves supinating the left hand, whilst holding the suture between the left thumb and index finger, with the suture wrapping slightly around the little finger, as we can see. The right hand brings the long end of the suture over the middle fingers of the left hand. The left middle finger then loops around the long end of the suture to hook the short end and pull it through the loop that has been created. The short end is then taken away from us, again at 180 degrees. This crossing of the hands is vital, as it ensures that every throw of the surgeon's knot lies flat and also prevents us from accidentally forming a granny's knot or a slip knot. To secure the surgeon's knot further, we then perform another single throw. However, we can add as many extra throws as we want. So let's take another look at how we perform the hand-tied surgeon's knot. If we now have a look at the tying being performed with the right hand, we start with the short end of the suture lying away from us, which is this time picked up and held between the thumb and the middle finger of the right hand. We then use the right index finger to extend the suture out. The suture end in our left hand is brought up and over the extended right index finger. The right index finger then hooks around the short end of the suture and pulls it through the loop that's been created. The index finger then goes through the loop again and pulls the short end of the suture through the loop for a second time, thus creating the initial double throw of the surgeon's knot. The right hand then pulls the short end of the suture towards us, whilst the left hand goes away from us at 180 degrees. We then continue to fashion the rest of the knot as we would for a simple hand reef knot, ensuring that our hands cross with every throw so that the knot lies completely flat and we don't accidentally form a slip knot. To secure the surgeon's knot further, we then perform another single throw. The number of additional throws is dependent on the type of suture material being used, with a greater number needed to secure the more slippy monofilament sutures when compared to braided sutures.